Okay. Now we were discussing what. So whenever I compile this, what happened? So null value is string a color variable. It has a initial value null. Okay. 0 is integer default value. Okay, integer default value. If any float is there, one float is declared, this float, okay, float is equal a variable. I need to say some word, suppose car speed. Okay, it is car, so car has some speed. Okay, speed is what, suppose speed. Speed is a variable, but I have not assigned any variable value. So how can you access this one? It's float. What is the float default value? So you paste, you ask, you call for what? That variable float speed. So now you will get what? So 0.0. So 0.0 is the default value, initial value of the your float variable speed. So who will set these values? Who will set these values? I have not assigned any values here. Only that variables, class variables, they're called attributes declared here. So who will set these values? This constructor. This is the role of the constructor. This is called default constructor. So as I told you that whenever object is created, this is the object for the car class created. So object is created in which memory? Heap memory. Okay. Object is created in heap memory. Its reference as a memory address. So stored in a variable in stack memory. This stack memory and heap memory part of random access memory, RAM. Okay. So once object is created, so it will be created in heap memory of RAM, random access memory. Stack its object reference will be stored in a variable that is called reference variable. Within that object reference means memory address. Okay. Now what happened? Whenever object is created, along with constructor also created. So once object is created, constructor will be called. Why? What is the role of the constructor? Constructor first role to start the object. Initialize, simply called initialize, means start the object. Another one is that another role of the constructor to set the initial values for the class attributes. Second role. Okay. Third role to allocate the memory for the object. That is the actual first role. Constructor, whenever object is created, constructor will be called. Okay, this is the default constructor. So default constructor, what it does, every class has a default constructor. So this default constructor, its role is to allocate the memory for the object. Second one, okay, second one to start the object, initialize the object, to set the values, initial values for these what? Class attributes, and to update the values. How? Initially you have these values. So if you pass here, weight is equal to somewhat like 60. Okay. So now it is okay. This will be because you have passed the value here. So that will be displayed. You will get here. Weight is equal, you will get here. Okay. 60, you will get the 60. But if I have not passed any, suppose speed, I have passed the value speed 100. Okay. So color is equal to black. Okay. BLACK black. So I have passed all the values here. I have passed all the value, assigned the values to us, variables, class variable. So you will get them as a, it is what under compilation problem. Why it is compilation problem in Java 17th line. So you need to be familiar with these compilation errors, exception in thread. Exception means error. Thread is what already I have covered multi-threading concepts under thread. So normally what happened, the total code thread means now it is under main thread. Okay, it is exception in thread main. It is stating that thread name is called main. Okay, exception means error. So thread name is main. Where is our main? This is our main. Okay, so this exception java dot language dot error. So now this is part of, okay, this is this main method. Okay, so it throws an exception. It clearly either stated that it throws an exception. So this exception is part of what? Exception is a class. Okay, this exception is a class which is part of your language package. In Java, language package is a directory or folder. Directory or a folder. Every folder has, they are the package means folders, otherwise directories. They are the inbuilt language. So many inbuilt packages in language packages. The input output packages. That is what AWT is SQL. Okay, so many swing, so many are there. So exception is a class. So this throws which type of error? This is unresolved compilation problem. Exception throws that exception, that error name is this one. So you need to be familiar with all these. So line, where in which line error is there? 17 line. So this exception errors thread, I have conducted the classes and threads, how to create the threads. Okay, thread is nothing but a piece of code that will be executed. Okay, now here the code is, our code is under your main method. So this main method will be executed by a thread. Thread is but what, you know, one piece, some line of code. Thread is what? Is some piece of code will be executed by, which is defined under main method. So that will be run by a main thread. Okay. So line 17 is error. That is where line 17 where public static void here. Why? Try to understand. What is this? Car string color black. Car dot color. Car dot color. Okay. No issue. No issue. If I have passed car dot color static declared as, but it is giving error. Okay, no issue. Wait. So you call this as what? Object dot car with the object. Okay. Object, and you remove this static keyword. Why static I have used it here? If I want to call this attribute as a class variable, I want to call this, access this variable with the class name. So that moment I have kept as static. Okay, now object car dot color. Okay, now try to understand whether it is what happened here. Now you, so okay, now suppose this color, I have not passed any value for this color variable. This is string type. I have passed for this weight speed. Okay, this much value. So now what compiler does, it is printing null. This is the initial value for this string variable. And for rest of them, integer and float, I have passed the values. So whatever the values I have passed, these variables accessed with the object name. Okay. So now, if I don't want to pass any variables to this, yeah, I don't want to assign any values to these variables. So then their default value, as I told you, that they will be okay. So how to update these values? How to update these values? By creating a constructor. This is okay. This constructor, this is with the object it is created. Okay, it's set the initial values. Initial values once object is created along with their attributes will be initialized. Initialized means set up their default values. So then we need to create a constructor to update these values. Okay, so how? Let us see how to create the constructor. That is called the main constructor. Main constructor. Main constructor. Okay, under this main constructor, how to create the constructor? First of all, keyword public, and then class name. What is class name? Car. Then brackets. Okay, brackets. Now, then after braces, flower brace, open brace, close brace. Now, what happened? Your constructor created for what? This is called main constructor. This is default constructor. This is the default constructor. Okay. So if you don't want to create this constructor, normally this default constructor will be created called along with whenever you create the object. So if you have not created this constructor, so but you want to update these values because we have not assigned any values here. So if you want to assign that values, that initial values to be updated, so you need to create the constructor. Okay. So within this constructor, you need to do what? You need to create the local variables. Local variables. Local variables. Oh, local variables are what? So I told you that this is a special constructor is a special method. Whenever brackets are there, you feel that it is a method. Method means, see here it is a method. Method has brackets. Okay. So this string array arguments I will explain later. So now main is a method. Okay. Under that, whatever the line of code, they will be executed. Compiler looks for this line of code, this main method. Okay. Under this main method, whatever the line of code that will be executed. So here object car dot color. So object car. So compiler goes for object car is where here is the object car. So this object car created for whom? Car class. So car class is where it goes. Car class is like compiler searches for line by line printout. See, if you first this line of code will be executed. If there is no any error, compiler checks all the lines at a single glance. If there is no any error, it tries to execute. First, this line of code will be executed. See, that first you will get this printout hello world. Then next is what? You come down. You see, next printout statement is what? This one. Object car dot color. So you want to get printout, no? So object. So this printout statement will be used to get the print on the monitor. Okay. What is our standard output device? Standard output device is what? Monitor. Monitor means our monitor screen. Okay. So I will explain about this system.out println if time we have. Okay. So now color is what? It is an attribute. Dot object car. So object car, this is the object car. This is object car created for what? This car class. So it goes for where? Car class. Here it comes under the car class. What is that attribute? Color. So what is that color? This is color. So now this color value to be printed. I have not any assigned any value. So that will be, that is initial value given by 0. By whom? The constructor. So how this value can be updated? We need to create the constructor. So constructor is a special method. So method here we need to pass the same. Suppose if you want to string, one string we need to create here, same string, same color. Now try to. So this color is local variable. So I told you that this constructor is a method. Okay. So what its role? This constructor role is to update the class variables. How? Now here you need to write what you know. Color is equal to color. Color is equal to color. Color is equal to color. Why? I explain. Semicolon. Now try to understand what happened here. This color equal to this local variable equal to this class variable, that is called color. But why it is giving error? Because both are same. So you need to refer that this color class variable. So you need to use this keyword here. This. So this color means it refers the class variable. Okay, class variable. This color is local variable. Okay, that moment what happened? Normally this keyword, it is used in programming in Java to refer to the class variables, class objects. Okay, class objects. So this keyword, it is being used here to refer to the class variables, and this is called to color. Color is local variable. Now what happened here? Come to the constructor. Where is your constructor? Now you pass here the value. So it is clearly stating that error is the constructor car is undefined. So undefined means you need to define now here. So what is the value we need to define? String, color. Color, I told you the what is the color? Car has any colors, black color, whatever. You pass the value here. So black. Okay. Now what happened? This black, it is a string type of, na? So you need to declare. So you need to declare it is a string type of data. String. Okay. Okay. Now see what happened. If you compile this one, so where is that? So now this is still you are getting null. Still you are getting null. It is to be, you need to get what? Black. So how? So where you have passed that color, that is in your, okay. Now this value color, it is to be passed to what? Object car dot color. So okay, now once you are requesting the print statement, now this black value is a string you have passed in the constructor. It will be passed to whom? Okay, this local variable. Where is that? This is called color. So now this color local variable is equal to your class variable. So now it is to be updated. So let us check that how it is being exit. So now it is, see, updated. Na? So black. You are getting what? Before that it was what? Null. Now that null value updated by whom? Constructor. Which constructor? This constructor. So if I have not created the main constructor, by only this constructor, it is not possible. Because now see, if you keep this constructor in quotation comment section, the total, if you keep this under this comment section, total, okay. Now your main constructor kept under comment section. So now what happened? Now the total constructor kept under comment section. Then if you pass here, see, the constructor car string is undefined. Why? Undefined means if you pass the string here, you need to create the constructor. Okay, you need to create the constructor. Otherwise, you remove here, you remove here. Okay. Now there's no any problem. If you pass string color is equal to what? You under double quotation marks, double quotation, you pass black. Okay. Now this will be updated. See, you are getting black. Okay, because I have passed the value here, that value will be here. You want to get the printout on the screen, so you are requesting for printout of obj car. Obj car is an object created for car class. So color dot obj car. So means this color is what? It is an attribute of what? Obj car. Obj car created for what? Car class. So now compiler goes for car class. Under the car class color, it looks for the color. Under that, whatever the value that will be displayed. Okay, but initially compiler looks for the main method. Under the main method, whatever the line of statements, they will be executed. Okay, now if I remove this one black, I told you that if I remove this black, so now what happened? Null value, you will get the null. Now it is to be updated. How it is to be updated? By creating the constructor. Okay, now if you open this constructor, okay, now what happened? If you open this constructor, remove this all that star. Okay, why we are getting stars here? Okay, now by this constructor, you need to pass the value here. Okay, under this default constructor. Now string. Suppose if you want to change this one, if you want to update this weight, so you need to one more local variable. You need to create one more same weight. Now weight. So now try to understand. Now both are local variable and class variable are same. I told you that moment you need to write word this keyword, this dot w syntax already it is supporting us. Now it is okay. Now if you pass as what is that? Why it is giving error? You need to declare, that is what you need to pass the value black. Black is a string. Now weight is 60. So now you have passed the value. These values will be passed to local variables, and local variables equal to class variable. Now these variables will be updated. You will get the output here. Now it is okay. Now you are getting the values are here. Now one miracle thing I don't want to use this keyword. Then what happened? So that moment, this keyword, it is not to be used when this is what, whenever your class variables and local variables are different. Different is what? Now it is capital weight. So local variable is capital weight. Okay. Now there is no any, because this is different. This is different. This variable declared with the small case. This variable declared with the capital. That moment you need not to refer this keyword. Okay. Okay, both are different. So whenever both class variables and local variables are same, that moment for the to remove the to overcome the confusion, we need to refer that this is class variable, this is local variable. Okay, so that's here. This is a class variable declared with small case letter. It is declared local variable declared with a capital case letter. That's why no need to declare this. Okay, now come down. Suppose if a method is there, so I told you that this is the local, that is what the constructor special method to update what update these class variables. Okay, then we need to pass. Now these are called once in any method. If I pass any variables, they are called parameters. I have passed these variables as a parameters. So for the parameters, whenever I am calling that method, now this is a constructor, but it is a method. Okay, now I have passed the values. Now these are called arguments. In programming, if I pass, whenever I am calling the method, so that moment, whatever the values I pass, they are called arguments. In method declaration, this public car, it is a special method. I told you that no, constructor is a method. Okay, so within this method, how within the bracket whatever, no, so there is a method. Okay, so see, he is a main method. Main method has brackets, parentheses. Okay, so means within that method, line of statements will be executed. Method will be under flower braces, means a block of code will be executed. Okay, so main method, a block of code will be executed. So that's why open brace, close brace. Within these braces, the line of code will be called a block of code that will be executed. So now come. So now if it has a method, I'm going to declare a method. So now we try to understand what is class, objects. Okay, now object, class, attributes, constructor, methods. Try to understand. So here I'm going to declare a method here that is public. So public small case letters, public. Okay, next static void. I will explain void now. Now under this method I will explain. This is what a method name. Take any name, method name. Okay, method name car method. So car has a method name speed. Okay, speed. Now it is a method. So method must be suffixed with the braces. Sorry, these are parentheses, brackets. And then after open brace, close brace. Open brace, close brace. Huh? Okay. Now try to understand. It is a method. Now this is called user-defined method. So in Java, so many built-in methods are there. So many built-in in Java, so many built-in methods are there. But we are creating as a programmer user-defined methods. This is main method is a built-in method. So in Java, I told you that so many packages. Packages are called folders. So many packages have so many classes. Every class has method. Okay. So method and function. So I want to clarify what is method and function. So function is nothing but under a function, some line of code will be executed. So whenever we call that function. So now main is a function, but main whenever function declared under a class. So now we can call it a method. Okay. So if there is no any class, so it is simply a function now. This main method becomes a function, but this main method part of a class. So now it is called a method because that method will be accessed by creating the object and with the dot operator. Class attributes and methods. Now I want to create this. Now under this, you paste. Now here, I want to keep a string type of data here. Under the string means always kept in double quotation marks. String, how to declare the string? You need to write car speed. Speeds. Speed is very fast. Huh? Speed is very fast. This is okay. Now, if you want to access this method, I told you that this is a method. Method name is speed. So because why it actually it is a function. Actually, normally it is a function. Function is what? Function means function. Whenever you call this function with the function name, this line, whatever the line of code written under that function will be executed. But now it is a method. Method because it is declared under a class. Okay. So that is the difference between nothing but function and method. Don't worry about that. But method will be executed by either class name, otherwise object name with the dot operator. As we have accessed the attributes here, like this, I have called the attribute with the dot operator. Here, object with object. Okay, no, this is the method I have called here under this method. This is what one statement I have kept here. Now I want to access this method. Now come down here, where under the main method, you need to access here. See. So how you put a printer? You simply call this method. Okay, speed. Call this method name as what? Speed. Speed. Always method must be called with the brackets or terminate with the semicolon. Now see what happened if you call this. Now speed is very fast. You have accessed that method. Okay, you have accessed that method. So now if you want to access this method as a class method, so you need to call this, you need to access this with the class name. What is your class name? Car dot. So is it the right thing I have written? No, it is wrong. But car is capital car. Okay, now car dot speed. So I am accessing the speed method declared and defined. Declaration means you have kept a name for this class. The method under the statement is defined, written. So now see what happened here. You are accessing that as a class method. So class method always called as a static method. Okay. So once you call a method as a class method, that is called a static method, or called as or static method or class method. Class method. Okay. Now come down. Suppose if you want to access this as a class method, object method. So what is our object for that created object? This is the object car. So you call this as obj car dot speed. Already it supports, which supports, this is called object car dot speed. So once you want to access both method. So here the static keyword, na? So if you want to access this as a object method, that moment you remove this static keyword. Now it is pure object method. You put it as a comment section. Now you want to access this method with the object. So you can get the, I will explain what is happening here. So you are getting this output. So what is happening here? Whenever now once this method is declared as public, means it public has two meanings. One is this method can be accessed publicly, means this method can access outside of the class. Now this method is part of your car class. Okay, now if you want to access this method out of this car class in another package, so that is one meaning public. Another meaning is this method is accessing only by this method belongs to the object, not for the class, by this public meaning. So you can only access this speed method by object, not by class name. Okay. So if you want to access this method as a class name, you need to declare static keyword. What do you mean of this static keyword? Means this method can be accessed as a class method. So here you want to access is a class object. So once you want to access this as an object method, so no static keyword, only public. So if you want to access this as a class method, Now you put it in its comment section, you remove this comment. Now you can access this method as a class name. Okay, by the static keyword. Now this public means this method is publicly accessible, but this method can be accessed with the static as a static method. What about this void? Means what method? Speed method will not return any it will not return any data type. Okay, void means. So I will explain deeply about the void. So now come down here. So now what happened? One method is user-defined method declared. So that method, whatever the line of statements written under here, so that is you are getting here. So under this, you want to create any local variable here? Yeah, here under this, suppose int x. One local variable you have declared x is equal to x is here. So now under this, you want to put a statement here. Under this, you suppose int x, suppose string int x. Okay, no issue. Int x, you take this int x. X x is equal to, you pass x plus. Okay, where is that plus? Okay, now you put a string here. Okay, put a string, 5 numbers of string, 5 numbers of cars in stock. This is the statement. Now what happened? This x. So whenever you, this line of statement, whenever you call this method speed, so here, see, whenever we are calling the method, it is giving error because within this method, we need to pass for this x. You have declared as a local variable in this method. Okay, that x you have not defined any value. You have not assigned any value for that. That value to be assigned in this whenever you are calling that method. See, it is giving error. The method speed in the type car is not applicable for the arguments. Okay, so arguments you need to pass the argument here. Suppose 5 cars. So now it is okay. Now you will get the output here. See, speed is 5 numbers of cars in stock, 6 numbers of cars in stock. Okay, you have declared a local variable in this method. Okay, where this is user defined method. This is the, it is also one method. It is a special method. Special method that is called a main constructor that is user. This is what? Okay. So this is declared to update the values of the class attributes. Okay, without that, it is not possible. So you can create the user defined methods under this. You can, whatever the statements you will keep, they will be executed. If you put some parameters here, so suppose somewhat statement. One more local variable I want to create here, string, comma. So string that is equal to y. Okay. Now, where speed? So here I have passed what string. So why it is giving error? Because in your method, where is your method? Method, speed method, you have declared 2 parameters. You have declared 2 parameters. One is one string, one integer, but you have passed only one value. So string. So string we need to pass here. So within this, you need to pass string under double quotation mark. So black car. Okay. This is the string. Okay. Now, this is the string you have passed. Now, you see what is the value you will get here. 6 numbers of cars in stock. 6 numbers of cars in stock. Okay. Print 6 numbers of cars in stock. 6 numbers of cars in stock. 6 black cars. You remove this. 6 black cars. You remove this. 6. You write the one more string here. That is what? 6 black. 6 black. Okay. 6 plus here. 6 black. Okay. 6 black cars in stock. 6 black. Okay. See what happened here. You will get 6 black in stock. 6 black in stock. Why? You passed black. So X for 6. Now this string passed here. Okay. Black. 6 plus. That is black. So if you remove this one, what happened? See here. So now what happened? Only 6 in stock. Why 6 in stock? You for this X, you have passed the value here 6. Okay. But the string is not okay. The string is what? Where is that? You need to pass this Y. Okay. X plus black. Okay, 6 black. You need to pass Y. Next plus. Okay. So what do you mean of this X6? You have passed the value here. You have passed the value 6 here. And what about that Y? Okay. 6 black. You cars instant. X means you have passed the argument 6. Okay. For Y, you have passed black. So 6 black cars in stock. You will get this output. Okay. 6 black cars in stock. So this 6 value, black value, where we have passed, you declared some parameters here in this method, user defined method, one string Y. You can put any Y, X. So this is string Y. Y stores what? It is declared for what? Black. Okay. You can keep it as a color, no issue. See if you are feeling any confusion. This is a color. Color represents black. So you need to pass. It is giving error. You change this as a color. Okay. No issue. This is X represents what? So simply you are feeling X is equal quantity. Quantity means what? It's a variable. You change this X as quantity. Quantity means anything you can keep. Huh? Print ln quantity. Okay. Now you can get the output. So 6 black cars in stock. So this is what method declared. So I have explained about the today class object I have created, methods, how I have accessed that method. Method is what? Every object has, as I told you, that some appearance and characteristics, they are called attributes. So same object has some behavior. Object has some behavior. Behavior means, suppose a human class object is there. Human walks, human being walks, talks, speaks, eats. These are the activities. So that object activities are called methods. That behavior, object behaves, object speaks, human object speaks, eats, drinks. These are actions of behavior of that object. So they are called methods. So here, this is car has a method. Where is that method? Speed. Speed is somewhat action. Speed is somewhat activity. Speed is some that is what behavior of the car. What is the behavior of the car? That car speeds travels very runs very fast. That is the behavior of that car. So they are called methods. Okay. So methods, I told you that how to access that method as object method. So means static object method means not static method. Object method public. They are called public method. Public means okay. So now try to understand that what happened. It is okay. Now come down here. One topic. Okay. What about this system dot out println? This is to be. I want to brief first statement. Where is that? Okay. Okay. So I told you that compiler looks for the main method under the line of statements. They will be executed. Actually, this in programming. This piece of code is called a thread. Some lines of code is what? Some piece of code, 5 lines, 10 lines of code. That line of code will be executed by a thread. So this main method will be executed a main thread. Okay. Now under this, the first statement is system. System out println. So what is the meaning of this? Try to understand. System is a class. Okay. If you keep this system, it is part of which package? Language package. System is a class. It is a part of a language package. Language package is part of a Java main package. Okay. So system has every class of methods, but this system class has an object. Okay, that object is accessed system dot out dot println. This println is a method of. This is not part of this class, system class. It is part of print stream class. It is part of what? Println is a method. Println is a method. This method is being accessed by print stream. It is a part of print stream class. Okay. This is a part of IO package, input output package. Okay. But why println method is being used? System class that can't be used to get the printout. System class, na? So that can't be used to get the printout. So alternate solution is that using a println method of print stream with the system class. And system class is an object. System class is what? A part of language package. Okay. So println is a method. So ln means what? New line. So if you remove this ln, na? So you get what? Line of statement. See, hello world. There is no any next line. So black, next statement is what? Where is that next statement? This is object car dot color. Color is what? Black. So that black is not put in another line. Okay. So that print ln gives next line, new line. Okay. Line. Okay. That is what? Okay. Now it's okay. I have explained system dot out dot println. So I have explained public static void. I told you that it is it will not return any method. So if you want to this method as a return type, so I am going to create one more method. Say you copy this method total. You copy. You paste one more method I want to create here, that is return type method. Okay. So if you want to make it as a return type, you need to pass in place of this Suppose it returns integer type. So you change this, why it is giving same duplicate na, so add, this is add method. So now here two integers you declare int x y, okay, x y, two integer, two parameters into y. Now two parameters, you need to put return type here, okay, return x plus y, terminate with the semicolon, okay. Now you remove this line of code, this is part of another method now. So now what happened, now where is, why it is giving error because you open brace is here, you need to put the close brace, okay. Now what happened, within this, this is a method name is add, okay. Now it is not void type because it will return something, so it returns what, integer type of data. So two parameters we have passed here, int x, int y. So you return, this keyword must be here, it returns what, x plus y. So whenever you call this method, you call this method here, call. So how can you call this method as object method? So object dot you add, call this method as add, but it is giving error because you need to pass the arguments for that xy. So you take 9, 8 comma 9. So now you have passed two values here. But whenever you want to call this method, you remove the static keyword. Okay, static. So no, sorry, not here. It is under the main method. Okay, static is to be kept. Where is your method? This is static. Now you remove this static keyword here. Now it becomes pure object method. You now call this. Now what happened? You will get the output word here. Where is that? Where is that? You have not called. What is that? That where object car dot you have passed. Where is the written x plus y? Add object car dot add, okay, this is okay. So whenever system